So you've just completed your yoga teacher training. Congratulations. But now you're wondering what's next? How do you actually step into the role of a teacher and start teaching classes? It can feel overwhelming, right? I remember when I came out of my first YTT and I wondered where to next? Like, how do I actually make a start? In this video, I'm going to share the exact steps I took to start teaching and the steps that you can take so that you feel more confident to get your teaching career off the ground. And these are the exact steps I took to go from teaching classes, workshops, and events to private one-to-ones, creating online programs, and now teaching to 1 million subscribers on my main channel. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to build your confidence, how to start teaching your first classes, find locations for workshops or events, and manage everything from booking systems to social media so you can hit the ground running. So when you're ready, let's dive in. Step 1 is to build confidence through practice. First things first, before you step in front of a big group or a camera, you need to build some confidence. So here's what I did. I taught 10 practice classes to family and friends for free because teaching strangers can be scary, especially when you're new to teaching. But if you practice with people you know, you can make mistakes and get comfortable with your own voice and teaching style in an environment that feels less scary or judgmental. So once you've taught a few classes to your inner circle, teaching to a studio full of students won't seem anywhere near as daunting. And if you want more tips just like this to help you grow as a teacher, pause for a second and hop on my mailing list. The link is in the description down below. Then step 2 is to find your first teaching opportunities. And when you're feeling ready to teach in a real setting, you have 2 main options. Option 1 is to teach at a studio or gym type space. And you could start off by reaching out to them, seeing if they are looking for new teachers or have availability on their schedule, or if they're looking for someone to cover classes. And subbing at local studios can be a great way to get your foot in the door, because even if that studio doesn't have space available for a new teacher, studios are always looking for people to cover, so don't be afraid to ask. And you could also reach out to physiotherapists, your local community center, schools or colleges to see if they are looking to host classes too. Then option 2, which is more involved, is to teach at your own location. So this is where you would find a space, and we'll get onto how you can do this in a moment. Market the class to your community and handle the bookings and payments yourself, as well as procuring and setting up of equipment, although this can be dependent on the space that you use. Now, although this is more involved, one of the many upsides is being paid per head instead of the hourly rate at a studio. And all of the skills that you will learn through this process of organizing locations, bookings, etc., puts you in great stead for the future if you want to run workshops, events, and retreats. However, there is more work involved, as I mentioned, because unlike a studio where they handle the booking side of things, the equipment, and getting people through the door, if you run classes at your own location, you will need to take on that responsibility yourself and in many cases learn the skills to do this. So here's how you can go about this. When it comes to finding locations to teach, think about places like community halls. These are often cheap to rent and have a lot of space. Gyms or cafes, because sometimes they have empty areas during their off-peak hours that you could hire out on an hourly basis. Physiotherapy clinics or wellness centers. These are great places to partner with as they are in a closely related industry, and it's likely that they want people to come in and use their space for yoga classes. Then when you're looking for locations, always consider how accessible they are. Is there parking or are there good links to public transport? Essentially, how easy is it going to be for people to access those classes? Also consider if the space provides equipment. This is why I'd lean more towards physiotherapists or gyms because you might be able to use their equipment instead of buying it yourself. Because if you do need to buy it yourself, then you have to think about how you are going to transport it. For many years, the boot of my car was bursting with mats, blocks, and blankets, and it's not an ideal situation, so I would recommend avoiding that if you can. Then, when you have the location and have arranged a regular date and time for your classes, you'll need to set up a website or at least a simple booking page where people can sign up for the classes and a system to manage the schedule and payments side of things. So, what I used to use was a simple Squarespace website, and I used one of their programs called Acuity Scheduling. So, that allowed me to create all of the classes so that people could book on and payment could be made at the point of booking. And then I could also set up automated emails to let people know any information they needed, where they could get directions, helpful things like that. Then, when you have all of that in place, you need to start getting the word out. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is through social media. And I know it's not something that many people are comfortable with, but simply put, you can just start posting regularly to give students an idea of who you are as a teacher, what your style is like, and make them aware of your offerings and what they can expect from your classes. For more tips on how you can market yourself as a teacher, I've linked one of my videos in the description below for you to check out next because I think it's really going to help you, especially if marketing feels a little bit icky or uncomfortable right now. And if you want to make life easier, you could approach studios or physiotherapists or gyms and offer them a revenue split where they can take care of the booking, equipment, and marketing, and you can take care of the teaching. So this way you can pool together resources and maybe get new clients that way. And this can be a great way to take some of the pressure off, or you could handle everything yourself if you feel confident to. And if you're ready to take the next step and want some personalized guidance, I would love to help. So click the link below and book a free discovery call with me, and we'll have a casual chat about how I can support your growth as a yoga teacher. And for those of you wanting to go down the online route, check out this video next.